evening, Stampers. This is Pat from Pat's Card Corner, and this is a delayed Take Two Tuesday. I didn't make it on this past Tuesday, just from some things that were going on with me. So I changed it to today, so if you're not expecting me, surprise! Anyway, I hope that I'm trying to get my computer to catch up here. So I'm not sure if anybody's going to jump on or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you the card that we're going to make. It's a fun pop-up card. One of my previous posts had all of the pieces and the sizes, but I am going to go over them here just like I always do every Tuesday. And so we're going to do that real quick, but I am going to show you the card that we're going to make. So this is the card that we're going to make. And you can see it's got a little butterfly in the front. He got kind of flattened out because he was inside a little package there. But it does pop up, so when you open it up, it pops up like that. So I'm not sure how well that shows up. So it will stand up. Let me get it going here. Like that. All right, now it's just gonna be ornery and not stand up on me. No, because it's been closed too much. But it does stand up. It will stand up. So anyway, but that's the inside of the card. That's the outside. So I have all the pieces over here, and I'm gonna show you how I made it, also how I colored the butterflies, and so let's get started. All right. And if you are hopping on or if you're watching, please comment, say hello so I know that there's somebody there. So first, let me move all these pieces. So the first thing that we're going to need is a piece of cardstock that measures, I have it's on the back, 4 1/4 by 11. And we are going to score this, so it'll be scored at 5 1/2, which is a normal size card base, so nothing special about folding that one. Then you're going to need another piece of that same cardstock, and this one is, let me turn this around this way, because that's the way it's going. It's 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. This one we're going to do a whole bunch of scoring on, because this is our special piece that goes in the middle that makes the card pop up. And you're also going to need one more piece of the same color cardstock, and this piece is 4 inches by 5/8. So 4 by 5/8. So those are the 3 pieces of cardstock that you'll need. You'll also need 2 pieces of Whisper White. One, and I think I got these backwards. I do. Let me get them on the right size because one's bigger than the other. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And the other one is 3 3/4 by 5. So they're not quite the same size, but close. I'm going to scoot this over here so you can see it. I can get everything in here. And then then you will also need one more piece of coordinating cardstock, and that piece is also 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. And now for the designer series paper, which is the fun stuff. Let's make sure I get all this in here. Okay, so I use this side, and this piece is, let me move my thing on the other side, 4 by 5 1/4. So that is going to go on the inside of our card. And then on the outside, we're going to do these fun little polka dots. This piece is 1 1/4 by 5. And I'm putting it 1 1/4 by 5. If you have paper that's directional, like these stripes, and you wanted stripes on the front that go up and down, you want to make sure that it's 1 1/2 and then by 5 going down. So the first measurement is always the horizontal measurement. The second measurement is always the vertical, just to keep everything straight. You're also going to need another piece of that same polka dot paper. That one is 4 by 1/2 inch, and that's, you can kind of see it. And then I also have another piece of this striped paper, and that one is 4 1/4 by a 1/2 inch. So this piece is a little bit longer than the other one. And then I have a whole bunch of just different sizes of butterflies. These are from they're stamped with a stamp set. That is out now. They actually, Stampin' Up actually put it up early before the new catalog came out, or is coming out. But this stamp set will be in the new catalog that comes out in May. So you can still get it. So it has all these cute little butterflies, but it also comes with, and just so you know, it is one big stamp, so you can stamp all of them together. There are some demonstrators that have been cutting them apart, but I don't really want to do that to mine. And one of the reasons is because there is a die there's a set of dies that goes with that stamp set. And one of the dies is really big. I don't know if you can see it. I put it down on something plain, you can see that it's got all those butterflies in it. And then also along with that, there's a couple of smaller ones, some decorative things, but there are also 6 butterflies that do more of like a delicate kind of lacy look for a die. So it's almost kind of like getting 2 die sets with 1 die, but this cuts out all of them at the same time. So I'm going to show you how I cut these out and also how I colored them. So when Stampin' Up introduced this set, they had a set of paper that went with it, but it sold out within 2 weeks. It was sold out by the beginning of by mid-March. It was supposed to last all the way till May, but it was very, very popular. So, but that paper, you could cut out a whole set of butterflies. It was all on one sheet of paper. But if you want to make custom butterflies to match your paper, I'll show you how I did that. So we're going to actually do that first, because then we're going to put the card together. So I'm just going to move all these out of the way. Well, let me leave them here just for a second. In case you didn't get the measurements and you need the pieces, I'm just going to leave them there just for a minute while I talk to you. So to stamp out the butterflies, you will need a piece of paper that's 6 inches by 5. This die is very large that we're gonna that you cut them out of. So you need a bigger piece of paper to cut them out. So, all right, hopefully you have all that or took a picture. So if not, there will be directions and measurements on my blog tomorrow, and you can find that right there. But first I'm going to show you how I made those butterflies, how I made these, and how I did the colors on them. So what I did is I used one of the new blending brushes. So this is one of the new blending brushes, and I used the colors of ink that were in my paper, which I've just moved my paper out of the way, but let me bring that piece back just so you can see it. So I used the colors that were in there. So I picked Night of Navy, which is also my cardstock color. And because I want kind of a little orange, that's Calypso Coral. And I also did a little bit of purple. This is Purple Posy, but I used Highland Heather, which is a little bit darker. And the Purple Posy is getting ready to retire too. And actually they had some problems with the ink pad, so I'm not even sure you can get it. But the paper I used is also paper that is retiring, because the retiring list came out yesterday. And this is called Playing with Patterns. It's got all kinds of fun stripes, polka dots. There's different stripes, more polka dots, all kinds of, you can kind of flip through it here. You can kind of see all the fun colors are in it. So if you like to have just some fun paper to play with, it also goes well with a lot of other papers. This is the other side that Stampin' Up has. This is a great pack to get. It is on the retiring list, so if you are interested in this, the items on that list are only available while supplies last. So, all right, but I'm going to show you how I did that. Let me put my paper away, out of the way. Okay, so here are the 3 colors of ink that I used. I actually used Highland Heather, Calypso Coral, and Night of Navy. And I actually started with one of the lighter colors and did that first. And just super simple, not hard at all. And you can do this with any dies that you have, if you have flowers that you want to do it with, or anything. So these are the new blending brushes. All I did was just kind of lightly rub it on the ink. You can barely see where it's kind of pulled it up. But if I go over here, you can see it a little better. Well, maybe not. Let me do that a little bit more. There you go. So you can kind of see. So what I did is I just kind of rubbed it in circles. Get this really good here. And just kind of started going over the paper. And then I just added more of another color. I think my pad needs to be re-inked here. So in some spots I wanted a little bit more. And what do I do with it? I have, hold on, let me find it, because I want to show you something fun. I don't know what I did with it. I've obviously lost it, but I put it somewhere. I'm just not sure where. Oh, there it is. Got hidden. Ha, here it is. This is the piece that I cut my other ones out. So I had a plain white piece. If I flip it over, it's white on the other side. So you can kind of see, if you place it on top, you can kind of see where the butterflies are going to be and kind of where your colors are. So if you want to put more color in a specific spot, you can kind of pick one. So like there's no purple down here, so you throw a little bit down there, a little bit more. Okay. And now I'm just going to kind of rub this off just a little bit on my chamois, just to kind of get any color off it so it doesn't there we go. And then I'm going to pick another color. So you can always come back and add more if you want. So I'm going to put a little Calypso Coral on there. Kind of rub it off a little first, just so it doesn't get too dark, or I might want it really dark. I think I'm going to have to add some more purple. So you can kind of see how this is going. So now if I put my thing back on, you can kind of see where the colors are going to be. So like this one's really purple, this one's really orange. So I'm going to add a little bit, some darker spots, because I kind of like some spots to be a little bit darker and some to be a little lighter. And then I'm just going to kind of wipe this off again. These brushes do clean really well. I know some people don't clean them at all. They just kind of like to leave them. Hey Elise. Hey Judy. Hey Margaret. So right now my computer says it's not showing anything, but hopefully it is. So I'll find out if my computer comes back. I just might need to refresh this. So anyway, there we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this. Okay. There we go. Having computer problems. I think I need a new computer because my computer is just acting up all the time now. All right. So just kind of, so now you can, actually I think I need more purple. So now you can kind of see how the butterflies are going to look when you cut them out. And I'm just going to wipe this off just a little bit. Because I want to put a little bit more purple on, and I want to make sure I get most of the blue off so I don't get it in my ink. There we go. I think the purple got lost just a tad, so anyway. So this is, you know, just kind of fun. It's real easy to do. There we go. All right, so actually then what you do with this, then you need to stamp. Because this is one big stamp, you almost need to have a stamparatus to do it. So I attached the stamp earlier, and how I did that is I'll just show you real quick. I'll just peel this off. You can see it's one big stamp. Oh, my stuff is going everywhere. Good Lord. So that's the sticky side. So you just kind of lay it right on top of your paper where your paper is. I am going to put my magnet on there so it doesn't move around. It doesn't go away. And then you just, whoop, wipe that off. I cleaned my stamp earlier. Got a little water on it. And then you just flip the lid open, kind of press it down so it gets stuck to it. There you go. And then you just ink it up. I did use Memento Black to ink it with. And here's a little trick. If you put a stamp case underneath the plate, then it lays flat. Otherwise, it's not quite flat. It's easier to ink it if it's flat. And just turn your ink pad upside down, because you can't, obviously you're not going to be inking this by putting the plate on top of your ink pad, because the stamp is so much bigger. Just like that, and just press it down. And there's your butterflies. Whoops. Fun thing about the stamparatus is if it misses a spot, like right there, you can ink it up again, just in that one spot, and restamp it, and it'll stamp in exactly the same place. See, there we go. Actually, this one down here doesn't look quite like it had enough ink either, so I'm going to do that one again too. So there's no guessing to make sure that you get everything where it belongs. And then all you do is you cut it out with, you would cut it out with the dies, just like that. So I'm not going to do that now, only because I already have butterflies already cut out, so I'm going to use the ones I already have. But that's how you do that. Very quick, very easy. I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, so now we are going to put our card together, now that we have our butterflies, or I showed you how to do the butterflies. So you're going to need your paper trimmer so that we can just do a little bit of scoring. Get mine out. All right, here we go. So the 4 1/4 by 11 sheet, we're going to close my ink up. Stuck my hand in it. We're going to score it on the long side at 5 1/2. So I'm just gonna, which is right down the middle. So if you don't have a trimmer, and the other day when I was doing this, I actually cut mine by accident. So please move your cutting blade out of the way so you only have the scoring one. So there. So now we've got that nice and scored. I'm going to set that aside. And then we're going to take the other piece of cardstock we had, that's the 3 1/2 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score it on the we're going to score it on the short side. So make sure that the 3 1/2 side is at the top, because that's where we're going to score it. And we are going to score it at, I've lost my directions. Nope. Sorry about that. Okay, we're going to, I just don't want to tell you wrong. We're going to score it at 3/4. So I'm just going to put that right on the 3/4 line. Close that up. I'm going to score it at 3/4. We're going to score it at 1 1/2. I'm going to scoot that over to 1 1/2. Score it right there. We're going to score it at 2 1/4. And we're going to score it at 3. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you those again. So it's 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. So you actually have, you can kind of see, the first 4 are all even, and then the last little spot over here is a little bit shorter, and there's a reason for that. So we are done scoring that, so you can move your paper trimmer out of the way, and we're going to start putting our card together. We're going to put the front together first. So you will need your 1 1/4 by 5 inch strip, and you will need your piece of coordinating cardstock that's 4 by 5 1/4, and you will need your white piece that is 3 3/4 by 5. And of course you're going to need your card. So we scored it, so now you can make sure you fold it in half. Just give it a good crease on the top. And we are going, let me take these off here. We don't need these anymore because they're in the way. Okay, so we are going to, this is how it's going to go together. It's just going to kind of layer on top of each other, just like that. So we can take your cardstock, put some adhesive on the back, and then we're going to put it right onto our card front here. So I get glue off my hand. Right. Okay. And then we're just going to put that right on the front of our card, right in the center. Hopefully you'll get it even. There we go. Then we're going to attach this piece right onto the edge. I'm actually going to put this on with glue, and the reason is because I want to butt the edges up because it goes all the way to the edge. If I don't have it quite there, I can slide it just a little bit and it'll get there. So my glue is coming out, I could do that. All right. Nope, it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Nope, it's still stuck. All right, hold on. Let me get a different one. That one's being ornery. Oops, here we go. Almost put glue on the wrong piece. There we go. Technical difficulties with glue. It's always a fun time. So I'm just going to put it right on the end, and then I can kind of slide it just to make sure that it goes all the way to the end of the paper and it's not hanging over. If it does hang over a little bit, then you could just trim it down if you don't have it cut exactly right. And then this is going to go on the front. I am going to stamp on it first before I put it on there though. And this card, the other card I made a birthday card. This one I'm going to use a thank you card, and I'm using this stamp set. It's called Massive Thanks. This is one of the stamp sets that is retiring, and if you need a good stamp set that has all different kinds of thank yous on it for just all different kinds of occasions, you might want to consider getting this stamp set. It is one of my favorites. I use it a lot because it has some fun thank you things, like this isn't just a thank you card, it's a hug with the fold in the middle. Just kind of fun. Or you can put little card, massive thank you on the inside. You can say, and this one, which is kind of fun, it says, I usually just send a text, but this calls for a card. It's like, how many of you write, somebody has having a birthday and you forget, and so you just, you know, oh, let me text them and I'll do that. Well, you can use this one on the outside, and then on the inside of your card, write happy birthday and send it to them. So, you know, instead of just sending them a text, let's send them something in the mail that they can actually hold in their hands and look at and ooh and ah over. So I love this set. If you don't have it, you might want to consider getting it before it is gone. Once it's gone off the retired list, you won't see it again. So, but I am going to be doing this one. This isn't just a thank you card. It's a hug with the fold in the middle, because we have a special fold in the middle of our card, and I thought, well, how appropriate is that? So I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy ink on the front of my card here. I am going to stamp it kind of down at the bottom because I want to put one of my little butterflies closer to the top when we're done. See if I can get this straight. Hope that's straight. There we go. And then that's just going to go right on the front of our card, just like that. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. And we're going to put that on. Flip it around so it's not upside down. And that's, whoop, it's going to go just like that right on the front. And then we're going to come back and put one of our butterflies on the front here. But I'm going to wait and do it to the end because I don't want to get them too smashed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up our card and we're going to get the other pieces that we had. And that is your piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. Your white piece that's 4 and 5 1/4. It's basic white. Plus you will need your small strip, and you will need the piece that is 4 by 1/2, just like that. So, and so what you're going to do, this piece is actually going to go at the top, just like that. So we're going to put some adhesive on the back. Get my thing going here. And this is just going to go right on the center of your card, just like that. Okay. This piece is going to go onto here, right in the middle. It does go all the way to the end, so don't be surprised about that. I think it's getting stuck on me. Go right like that. And that got glue on there. It's going to go right on the bottom of this piece. I got a little crooked. Okay. Got glue stuck all over my hand. Just going to kind of run that across the bottom. And then this piece is going to go on here. We are going to stamp on this piece, but I'm going to wait until we get our little pop-up piece on here so I know exactly. If I put it on there now and put it too high, I'll end up covering up the word, so I don't want to do that. So we're actually going to kind of stamp at the end, which is kind of unusual, but it works. So this piece is going to be adhered down now that we have it on, all put together. And it's just going to go just like that. Okay, now we need to get this piece. This is our 4-3, I forget what it is now because I've lost my little piece of paper. It's 3.5 by 4 1/4. So this is the 3.5 side. We scored it, so now we're going to, where all the score lines are, we're going to fold it and crease it really good. So we're actually kind of making like a little box or like a little stair step, I guess you could call it. So all the sides are even except for one is just a little bit shorter. That's the one that we're going to put some glue on, and we're going to glue it right together just like that. So you have like a little square box, and it's exactly the size of our card. So I am just going to, where do I put my glue? Going to put a little glue on that side. And the fun part about this is if you lay it down and you fold it, you can just fold this right over and it'll go right in the right spot. Just like that. Okay, so you have a little like tube. When we were making these the other night, somebody said, oh, we could make a kazoo out of that, but which would be fun, but you know, we don't need that. So there is like a little seam, or where the two pieces meet. That piece is going to go, if you fold it so that that piece is there, we're going to attach it here, and then we're going to put some glue here. So we want that piece to be in the center so that you don't actually see the little seam where that seam is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it flat. My little seam is in the back. I'm going to flip it over. This is where my seam is, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on the back of that one side, just like that. And then I'm going to lay it down. And you want it a little bit below, I'm going to see if I can hold this up, a little bit below where the crease of your card is. You don't want it right on the crease because it will be hard to fold. So you want it close to it. So you're just going to lay it down just like that. And then what we're going to do, because we want it to attach to the other side of our card, is we're going to, now that we have it attached, we're going to put a little bit of glue right here on this side. Just like that. So you can kind of see where it's only on that one side, and then we're just going to kind of flip it over and fold it down. And so when we fold up our card, it'll fold like that. When it's flat, it'll be stuck. So you might want to give it just a second to let the glue dry. You can also do this with tear and tape if you want. I just use glue, but it will fold back down together, and then it'll also stand up. So now that we have it flat, you have one more piece of paper that we have not attached, and that is your 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch strip, and it's going to be attached right there to like the bottom part of your stair. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that. And now we are ready to put our butterflies on. So you can make this card with other things besides butterflies. When I was making this card with some of my other stampers earlier this week, some of them used the Friendly Flamingo stamp set and put flamingos on theirs. Someone used the Whale of a Time designer series paper, which is retiring, by the way, and they put turtles and little whales and some seaweed on theirs. So you can do all kinds of things with this. You don't have to do butterflies. You can do flowers if you want. So now that we have our card all put together, now we need to put our butterflies on. And so what, I kind of laid it down like this. I'm hoping you can see. So the butterflies, where the big ones are, for one, you need to make sure that the wings or whatever you're putting on don't extend over the side of your card. You want it to be inside your card. So just where it attaches here at the bottom, I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue right at the bottom of my butterfly. So you can tell I don't have to go very far up. It's just right at the bottom. I hope you can see that. And he's just gonna go, whoops, I just told you not to do that. I'm just gonna move him over. And so you can kind of see, hopefully you can see that, how he stands up. And then the other ones, I have big ones and little ones. You can pick any size you want. So I put the big one on the bottom. Then we're just gonna kind of attach the other ones to his wings. Just kind of like that. The one thing you'd have to make sure of if you're picking a big one is that when you fold it up, that it doesn't come over the top. So you need to make sure that they're smaller. Actually, I'm gonna pick a smaller one so he doesn't go over. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue just on the back of his wing. I'm just gonna attach it just like that. Just kind of let it dry just for a second. And then I'm gonna put one more. I think I'm gonna put one right here. So it'll attach. I think he won't be. You just kind of got to check and make sure that they aren't going to stick up over the top. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of him. This one. And just kind of stick them up like that. Here we go. So now it kind of, so when they open the card, because the card will be closed, like that. So when they open the card, the kind of little butterflies will kind of pop up at them. So I also need to stamp my other sentiment down here, which I'm also going to do real quick. So, hey Sharon, who's late. She's already done this, so she knows what to do. And I'm just gonna stamp that right there. There we go. And then we have one more thing to do, and that is to put our butterfly on the front. And I'm just gonna pick one of these, and all right, which one should I do? The one with the little bit of blue, the one without? What do you think? Anybody have an opinion? I think I'm going to do the one with the, let me see, which one do I like better? Like that one? I think I like the bigger one a little bit better. I think I'm gonna do that one. So what I did when I folded them is I just kind of put my finger kind of where the edge of his body is and just kind of folded it up and just gave it a little crease. And then I did that with the other side of the wing too. Just gave it a little crease. And I am going to put this one on with dimensionals so he kind of like sticks off the side, or up, not off the side, but pops up off the front of the card just a little. And I'm going to use the little dimensionals, and I'm just going to put them right on the back, right in the middle. And you only need like 2, so they're right there. And I'm just going to attach it right. That looks good right there. You can also add some little gems if you want. I don't think I have any with me at the moment. So there you go. There's your card. So it's got that on the front, and then it pops up to have the little butterflies. So it'll actually, they can actually sit it up on their desk or on their mantle, wherever they want. So there you go. And like I said, you can use any paper you want. So that is that one. And then this is the one that I'd made earlier with the same paper, just different sentiment. Oops, my paper's coming off there. And then, of course, that one has butterflies in the middle too. So you can kind of see, you can kind of play around with how you want them in the middle. So there you go. Hopefully you liked the card, and you'll try and make this at home. And, you know, it really is a fun card to do. And like I said, you can do it with all different kinds of, crease this a little bit better. You can do it with all kinds of, any kind of paper you want. It's great for using up, you know, if you just have like little bits left, like scraps or something like that, because you don't need a whole lot of paper to do it with. So, anyway, hope you like the card. Hope you try it. And yes, I know I love these butterflies because you can make them any color you want. So obviously you can see, like this one is more Calypso Coral, a little bit of purple. This one's purple, a little bit of blue. So, you know, however you cut them out on the paper is kind of what they're going to look like. So, all right. So don't forget that Stampin' Up came out with their retiring list of things that are going to retire from the current annual catalog. That catalog will retire May the 3rd. That's the last day that you can order from it. But the what is on the list of things that are retiring, which will be on my blog, those items are available only while supplies last. So once they're sold out, there won't be any more. So if there's something in particular that you want, you might not want to wait too long. Of course, the in colors that are retiring this year, some of those things are already gone. Some of the cardstock and things, ink pads, so they go pretty quick. So if there's anything that you want that's on the retiring list, I strongly encourage you to get it before it's gone. And if you are going to place an order, if you go to my website, there's a link there so you can shop with me, or you can put in my host code, which is right here. So if you want to write that down, it will be on my blog also. So it's a great time to find some good bargains. There are some things on the retiring list that are also on sale. So I think the biggest discount I saw was, there are a couple things I think that are 75% off. Some are 60, 40, 30, 10, whole range of things. So get them before they're gone. I hope you have a good night, and I will be back next Tuesday at my normal time instead of Thursday. And I'll have another fun card for you to make. So have a great evening, and I'll see you again next time.